Going on. Hi, my name is Jaelyn Yanni. I interned with NOAA Fisheries and the Alaska Fisheries Science Center with Lisa Haruki-Waring as my site supervisor. Josh Lawler and Tim Billow were my faculty advisors. And in my project, Are Our Green Spaces Adequate? I investigated the impact of nature immersion on emotional well-being. So let's go ahead and jump into the background. Urbanization is creating barriers to outdoor access, and proximity to green spaces varies wildly across different communities. There's a theory that nature is beneficial to well-being because of a human innate connection to the outdoors, and this connection to nature is dwindling and becoming harder to achieve in certain communities. I found that sensory inputs within nature drive positive well-being, and education is a starting point for increasing the need for sustainability, leading to building improved green spaces that create positive well-being for everyone. So that leads me into my research question, which is what elements of nature are necessary to stimulate positive well-being in our urban green spaces? And with NOAA, I learned how to educate vulnerable groups with complex information. And I created a survey and a study where I sent out these surveys to the Wilderness in the Anthropocene backpacking course run by Tim Billow over the summer for a 9-day trip to the Cascades. And I sent a Panis Gen scale along with some short response questions in order to get some qualitative data. The Panis Gen scale is actually just a self-report measure of effect, and it scores from 10 to 50, with higher scores correlating to higher levels of effect. And on the right, we see this figure is an example of why I sent with the surveys. So through my Panis Gen results, I determined that positive effect rises and negative effect does in fact decrease over the span of 9 days in the wilderness. And the average score for positive effect rose from 35.8 to 38.9, while the average score for negative effect fell from 17.4 to 13. And a 4-point shift along the Panis Gen scale shows significant increase in mood after time spent immersed in wilderness. And respondents felt best when the five senses were being stimulated in relation to the environment. In figure 3, you can see some examples of what respondents said. And activated senses were actually mentioned in every response that I received. Respondents reported enjoyment most in feelings of openness, stillness, physical challenges, natural landscapes, sunlight, community and stories, and freedom. So, what are the implications of this? We have received evidence for beneficial effects of a natural environment with reduced negative emotions such as anger, fatigue, and sadness. We can use these sensory input elements to our advantage to design green spaces to replicate the same feelings we receive from time spent in the wilderness. And this offers a different approach to help create a plan for addressing and preventing urban populations that are disconnected from nature. And it's critical to increase the education and accessibility to true natural green spaces within cities, and because evidence shows that long periods of time immersed in true natural spaces can cause better and help prevent negative outcomes in mental health. So in this figure, we have the surveys responses from survey 1 and the responses from survey 3. You can see some pretty large increases in this green bar, which is the positive effect, and the negative effect pretty much decreases across the line. And that pretty much wraps up my project. And thank you so much for listening. I'd like to have a few acknowledgements. I'd like to thank Lisa Haruki-Waring and the rest of the team at Alaska Fisheries Science Center, Josh Lawler, who was my guiding hand throughout my research proposal and helped me kind of rework my question time and time again, Tim Billow for being willing to work with me. It was very exciting to be able to work with this backpacking crew. And I'd also like to thank my old backpacking crew, which is where all of this kind of stemmed from. And I'd like to thank the people I worked with in my POE cohort. It was awesome getting able to peer review with you guys. You guys are geniuses. I can't wait to work with you in the future. And lastly, I'd like to thank my family and my friends. Hi, Mom, and hi, Kaylee. Thank you for supporting me all along the way. It's really meant a lot this year, and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, that's my poster. Thank you for watching, everybody.